Okay, here's the video of basically removing a module and putting a new module in an M8000 system. So first of all, make sure you have your zap strap on and that it's making good contact with your body. Second thing is, these I would recommend a flathead or a small Phillips. You may need to loosen these up like so. These have already been loosened, but you would, on both sides, you obviously will take those out. And the next thing we do is we pull these latches and we're going to push this way. So we're going to do that, and that's going to help yank the system out, the module out. Now, if you're going to be putting an M8062 in here, it should be in the top slot and the next one, so that will occupy these two slots. In this particular setup, I have an error detector. It's an M8040, but this is just for demonstration purposes, so I can pull out this tray, put that down, pull this module out, and so forth. Now, I do not have an M8062, but if we look at this here, we have to make sure that when we do plug a module back in, this will be double height with an M8062. This error detector happens to be a single one. Whichever one you're doing, make sure that you first get it onto the rails. You're going to push like this, and you're going to try to push it from the bottom first. So get both hands on either side and push until it somewhat lines up. It should probably go in all by itself, but if it doesn't, it will align again, and now we see it goes in, and you can double check that it's in fully and engaged, and then you can slide these out of the way. So again, the only trick that I've seen, or only issue I've seen, is if it doesn't fully line up, don't force anything. Gently push with your thumbs, push in, and it should go all the way in. If it doesn't, just simply back it out and then reseat it. It's off center right now, so I'm not lined up. You can pull these down a little bit. If it's too far out, it also will prevent it from going in. You don't want that. There you go. Push it from the top. You'll get it in. Sometimes it just has to wiggle a little bit. Now, if you're doing a single unit module, you do that. If you are just putting in a filler panel, never leave this empty. This is needed to help control the heat flow. If you don't, you'll have heat the air blowing out here, and it won't be as efficient as it should be. And then you can finger tight these for both modules once you get everything in. Sometimes you have to push in a little bit to get it started, and if it's a little bit of friction on there, you can always use your screwdriver to help you, but shouldn't really need a screwdriver for the most part. Generally in shipping you do, and that is it. Okay, so when you do start the software after the module has been installed, you don't have to have the plumbing connected, because this actually helps you connect the spigots that are related here. So right now I'm going to click on this, and you have a clear diagram on how you should be connecting and in what order. Some of them are kind of arbitrary which order. Some of them are a little bit more important because of the way the pieces go together. For example, if I bring up the actual physical picture of one that I've had set up in the past, as you can see, let's make this a little bigger, grab it, there you go. So there's where the data in goes, and that's the data out. But the order of these, some of them overlap on top. So putting this one in first, as in the diagram, is a recommended thing to do. Or actually, this blue cable could go in first or last, but the next one is this cable here. Cable number 3 is going across. Cable number 4, again, is the one that connects down to clock out, and you may have to interleave and overlap. This one seems to be one of the longest cable is the number 7. Sorry, 6 is here. Very important thing here, which is not so obvious, is that when you are connecting these, any unused ins and out, like here and here, those need to be present, and that's a little unobvious from this picture. So actually, this is the last, putting in these plugs. Basically, to terminate, you need to terminate these. 7 and 8 are extremely important, because if you go to start this up and enable it, and you click the enable button, it's going to say unable to align. And if that happens, one of two things have gone wrong, or actually one of three things. You either forgot to put in a cable, you may not have done this. You did not correctly adjust and tighten these. That could be number two. And number three, which happens a lot, is people forget to put the shunts in. So there is a little test that gets run initially when you enable it. So if I click this enable row, right now I'm in simulator, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. It may just enable it. So it will enable. It runs through some tests, and if everything's good, you will get, well, you may not be looped back at this point, but it'll say enabled. If it cannot enable in a line, you will be told about it. So that's just a key piece of information on the configuration. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a good day.